Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. In our lives, many things happen to us. Good things happen to us and bad things happen to us. Allah blesses us with many things. For example, our clothes that we wear every single day, clean clothes, fresh food on the table, the fact that we have a roof over our head, the fact that our heart beats every single second and you don't even have to ask Allah for it. And the greatest blessing of all, Islam. And we have so many blessings to thank Allah for. Likewise, Allah also tests us with many things. Difficulties, hardships can fall upon us. For example, somebody may die in your family, somebody may become ill, you may lose your job. Anything can happen and it can cause you distress and grief. However, in Islam, we have something which is very special and very important to our lives, and it is one of the beliefs, it is a main part of our belief system, and it is one of the articles of faith. What is that thing? That is the divine decree, the predestination, the qadr of Allah. Allah says in the Quran, He says in Surah Qamar, إِنَّا كُلَّ شَيْءٍ خَلَقْنَاهُ بِقَدْرٍ. Verily, we have created everything with a predestination. Meaning Allah has decreed everything that was going to happen. The fact that I'm speaking to you now and you're listening to this video right now, Allah decreed all of this 50,000 years before the creations of the heavens and the earth. And we know this because the Prophet ﷺ said in an authentic narration recorded in Sahih Muslim, كتب الله مقادير الخلائق قبل أن يخلق السماوات والأرض ب50,000 سنة. That Allah ordained the decree of creation 50,000 years before He created the heavens and the earth. SubhanAllah. Allah says in regards to the calamities that fall upon us, difficulties that come to us. In the Quran He said in Surah Al-Hadid, ما أصاب من مصيبة في الأرض ولا أنفسكم إلا في كتاب من قبل أن نبرأها إن ذلك على الله يسير. No calamity falls in the earth or upon yourselves, but it is inscribed in the book of decrees, which is known as Al-Lawh al-Mahfuz, and that is before Allah even brings it into creation. Verily, that is easy for Allah. So as believers, we should have nothing to worry about, because no matter how much you try to do something, and it wasn't written that it would never happen, then it would never happen no matter how much you try. Not to say that you don't try, but that is the decree of Allah and you should accept it. Likewise, if you try to prevent something from happening, as much as you can, but it was written that it was going to happen, then that is the decree of Allah, and there's good in all of that. And no matter how much you try to prevent something, it will happen if it is decreed. Now the Prophet ﷺ gave us some beautiful advice in how to deal with good things that happen to us and bad things that happen to us. He said in an authentic narration in Sahih al-Muslim, عَجَبًا لِأَمْرِ الْمُؤْمِنِ. How amazing is the affair of the believers. إِنَّ أَمْرَهُ كُلَّهُ لَهُ خَيْرٌ. Verily, in everything that happened to him, in all of his affairs, there is good in it. وَلَيْسَ ذَلِكَ لِأَحَدٍ إِلَّا لِلْمُؤْمِنِ. And that is exclusively for the believers. Because the believers, us believers, we believe in the divine decree, the predestination, that everything was already written. And then he said, إِنْ أَصَابَتْهُ سَرَّاءُ شَكَرٌ فَكَانَ خَيْرًا لَهُ. If something good happens to him, if prosperity comes to him, attends him, then he gives thanks for it. وَإِنْ أَصَابَتْهُ ضَرَّاءُ صَبَرٌ فَكَانَ خَيْرًا لَهُ. And if a calamity comes to him, if something bad happens to him, then he bears it with patience, and that is good for him. And this was the advice of our Messenger Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the take-home message here is these two things. If something good happens to you, then you should thank Allah for it, and that's good for you. And if something bad happens to us, then we should try our best to bear it with patience, and that is good for us. And I ask Allah to allow us to respond as believers with every situation in the best way possible. And I ask Allah to forgive us and forgive everybody and bless us and reward us with Jannatul Firdaus. وصلى اللهم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.